So here's a story called A Door Nevermore. I stood outside this door half naked on the verge of learning that life is not so free nor easily understood. My view of the wonderful body I was born with was about to change. It would not look the same to me ever again, for I was about to learn a lesson I had just been told by my kindergarten teacher to go outside and take my clothes off. At hearing her request, I was initially delighted. Gruff and huffy as she was, I felt sure beneath the cold coat of her exterior lay a warm human being that really understood me. I was certain she knew of my honest desire to be free of my clothes altogether. At 5 years old, the heavenly joy of being almost naked all summer long still burning fresh in my memory. If it was a bit chilly, just a pair of light cotton underwear was all I needed to romp around our large property on Strathcona Road. The freedom was divine. Alas, it was with some misgivings felt that I left for preschool and kindergarten, bundled up and trussed against the growing cold of October. The first few weeks of school came and went. Classes were becoming routine, stories read, coloring done, songs sung, Dad's oatmeal cookies with glasses of milk were administered, with an imposed nap on the floor following our snacks. That rest time seemed to only serve one purpose, give the bug-eyed teacher a chance to imagine she were somewhere else. And then there was the sandbox. Somehow a dozen or so children were to work out their pecking order, learn to cooperate while enjoying constructive camaraderie, all within the confines of an 8x10 indoor sandbox. A lot of sand got tossed about, and it wasn't long before I was receiving my share down the back of my shirt. It felt uncomfortable, gritty, and scratchy. Some of it was flowing to the more shaded parts of my body. Finally, the sandbox distress drove me to seek the wisdom from a higher source. "Teacher," I beseeched, "the sand is getting inside my clothes and it feels bad. What should I do?" "Well," she said, "you just go outside and take your clothes off." Finally, words had come that I wanted to hear. Take my clothes off. Such wisdom and understanding. I thought the simplicity of it made sense to me. Who needs clothes anyway? Yeah, I should retain my briefs, perhaps for some measure of dignity. Return to the sandbox, never to be bothered again by sand, I thought. I must say at this point in my own defense, brief instructions to a 6-year-old regarding the removal of his clothes was not a good idea. They should have been elaborate enough to include the replacement of the clothes, followed by a good shaking out of all offending sand. However, being only human, I heard only what I wanted to, and in this case my clothes never went back on. I simply left them in a pile outside the kindergarten door to be collected on my return home. There have been a few times in my life when I had to stand in public and admit to myself, at least, I made a mistake. But nothing in my young life could have prepared me that day for the look on my teacher's face. When, dressed in little more than God gave me, I re-entered that preschool door. All playing ceased. Heads turned around to look. Faces stopped smiling. Mouths gaped in a room of shocked silence. It lasted only a moment, but the memory lasted a lifetime for me. Smirking boys and shy girls watched the teacher's trembling, shaking finger as she pointed to the door. "Get back outside and put your clothes on," she snapped. Oh, a gray cloud of conformity. I followed her instructions. Never again would I look at the body God gave me with the same light-hearted freedom. I had passed through a door marked Nevermore.